If your Etsy shop is not getting the amount of orders that you had hoped for, then chances are you might be doing one or more of the following incorrectly, but don't worry, I got you covered. I'll be sharing in today's video exactly what you can do and what you'll need to correct to start getting more views in your shop and, of course, more orders in your shop. People shop with their eyes first. And if your mock-up images look cluttered, unprofessional, low quality, cheap, people just won't click. Your mock-up photos, especially your thumbnail photo, are really the first impression of your shop to a potential customer. And your mock-up images are part of the packaging of your item, and you want to make a good first impression. You want people to understand that you have high quality professional items. You want them to feel comfortable buying from your shop, and people are visual. If your pictures are not great, you will not get any orders. The main key with mock-up images, and not only the thumbnail, but all of the mock-up images that you put in your listing, they need to be high quality, they need to look well done, and they need to present your design or your item in the best possible light. I've come across a lot where people have an item or part of the design cut off, or their actual design looks more like an afterthought. It is not the focal point of the mock-up photo, and by doing that, you're really doing a disservice to the hard work that you're putting into your shop. So high quality, professional, beautifully done mock-ups are critical to earning the click. Again, I get mine from Etsy and I get mine from Creative Fabrica. And a little bonus tip would be to look within your niche and find the best-selling items and really study what mock-up photos are they using. You don't want to go too far off the beaten path because you may not get as much conversion, but if you study the people who are getting a lot of traction, a lot of orders, they're popular now badges, they have bestseller badges, they're doing something right, and what they're doing is appealing to the customer. So what mock-up images are they using? Because those are clearly earning the click from the customer. Now, with that being said, even if you have the most beautiful mock-up photos, you won't get those views that you're hoping for if your title isn't helping Etsy put your item in front of the right people. If your title is too vague, the algorithm really won't know who to show your items to, which will mean to fewer views, fewer favorites, and of course, fewer orders. Titles like minimalist wall art or cat mug are just not going to get you found. They're too vague and they're too broad. But what you should think about doing in lieu of being very broad and very vague, and instead of just doing minimalist wall art, you can do neutral aesthetic principle boho wall art. That is hitting a lot of different keywords that are in high demand on Etsy. Now, to find the more long tail keywords that will give you a better chance of getting the traction in your shop, you may want to think about using a research tool like Everbee, eRank, Allura, Insight Factory. There's a ton out there. I do have a link though to try out Everbee for free. I love Everbee. I use it for everything in my shop pretty much, but you don't have to go with that one. There are others. I just encourage you to really think about investing in a research tool. You can also do it for free on Etsy though. You can just type in the search bar the keyword you're thinking of, and then right below that, you'll see which search result terms are coming up. You just won't be able to look at the competition and to look at how it's performing. But that is a free workaround. Just remember, you won't have all of the data in front of you. Now, even if you have beautiful mock-up photos and you have a really good title, if you're not using all 13 tags, you're missing out on a ton of traffic. We're given 13 tags by Etsy for a reason. And if you're not taking advantage of all 13, then you're really limiting your reach of who your listing will be shown to. Fewer tags could mean fewer opportunities to be found and for the algorithm to put your listing out there to as many people as possible. You want to use a mix of broad and niche keywords in your tags to cast a really wide net. That way the algorithm will have a better understanding of what your listing is about and who to show it to. And with a lot of research tools out there like Everbee, you can definitely look at your competitor tags to find out what tags they're using, and it'll give you a breakdown of if there's a lot of competition for it, the search volume, and if it's a keyword you should even pursue. It really does help speed up the process of you making sure that the listings you're adding to your shop have good SEO and title, tags, all the good stuff to be found. Now, there is a free way that you can look at a competitor's tags on Etsy. You can just go down to the bottom of their listing and then you'll see all 13 tags right there. The only drawback, you can't look at the competition. You can't see if it's a keyword you should or should not be using. Just keep that in mind, which is again why I recommend a research tool. Now, let's say you have the mock-up pictures figured out. You have the title figured out and you're using all 13 tags. If you keep tweaking your title and tags, you really are negatively impacting your ranking in the algorithm. Now I get it. I've been there. I've done it. You're thinking that by going in and updating your title and or your tags that you're improving that listing, but really what you're doing is you're hurting your ranking. The Etsy algorithm will need time to truly understand and index your item. And when you make any change to the title and or the tags, you are starting that listing from zero. So all the time that you've put into it, all the work you put into it, you're starting over by touching the title and or the tags. What you'll want to do is leave that listing alone for 1 to 3 months, which is on average the amount of time that it takes for Etsy to rank your item. And a tip would be, instead of tinkering with old SEO, improve the SEO with each new listing that you add to your shop. Instead of worrying about an older listings, let's really keep in mind that we want to move our business forward and do things that improve the future of our shop. So be very mindful when you add new things to your shop to have better and stronger SEO. Now, I'm going to say this with nothing but love. I promise you that. Nobody cares what you like. And if you are only putting things in your shop that you like, your shop will not do well. I can guarantee that. I made that error when I first began too. I would look around and see like, oh, that's cute. Let me put that in my shop. And then nothing happened. I wasn't doing any type of market research, and you putting in what you like is not proper market research, my friend. And the big part of that is that you might be selling or you might be putting in your shop what you like, but if there is no demand for it, nobody will ever buy it from you. And you're really wasting your precious time. Now, beyond SEO, something that is a crucial error that I see a lot of people make, and I know my coaching students are tired of hearing it, and I know the members in my free community are tired of hearing it, but it is so important that you cannot not do market research. There are multiple ways that you can do market research. You can go directly on Etsy and look at the popular nows and the bestsellers in your niche. You can go on Pinterest, and you can even go on TikTok or maybe even Facebook and Instagram. Those are all free. You can also take the research tool approach. That's personally what I do to conduct my market research. I like that I can just kind of stay within the Etsy platform to see what is actively selling on Etsy, and I can see the data behind it. But there are free ways to do it. However you decide to do it, please do market research before you even create anything. I did it the other way for a very long time, where I would create and then try to find the SEO for it or do the market research, and it got me nowhere quick. And I just wouldn't want that to be the same thing that happened to you guys either. I just wouldn't want that for you. So we have to do market research before we do anything else. And that leads me into the next error that I run into a lot when I'm doing shop audits or I'm coaching my students or I'm just helping people in my free group: pricing. Now, that can be very tricky because we think that our listings should be 3 or 4 times worth than what they really are. And we may not do the proper research to analyze and determine what our competitors are doing. Or we're so hungry for those orders that we heavily undercut the value of our item, which I do not agree with. I'd recommend for you to do, because people do ask me a lot, Dania, what should I price my item at? I can't make that decision for you. That's really for you to put an amount that you're comfortable with. But what I can tell you would be to do the market research. Go into your niche, look at what the people who are doing incredibly well are doing. What is their pricing? A really easy way to do it that wouldn't be overwhelming would be to find 10 to 15 bestsellers or popular nows in your niche and write down all of their pricing, and then take the average of it. and come up with an amount in that range that you feel comfortable with. And then if you're running a daily sale or any type of discount or promotion, you want to take into account that amount as well. But you don't want to put your prices too high to where people aren't interested because you're way higher than the competitors. And you don't want to do it too low because you don't want people to think that your items are cheap or low quality or that there's something wrong with it. And you also want to make sure that you don't undercut yourself because you want to make a profit. You're putting a lot of time and probably some money into running your shop that you want to get a great return on your investment. So that is why I highly encourage you to really analyze what your competitors are doing and make sure that you're in line to have a chance to be competitive with them. Now, if you're guilty of any of these, don't worry, don't beat yourself up. That is the part of learning. Even those of us on Etsy who are doing incredibly well, we've learned all this stuff too. We don't just open a shop and the orders start rolling in. We've all had to learn the same way too. To me, what matters most is what you choose to do or not do with the information that you're given when you're consuming all of this content. What are you going to do with the information that we give you? There are plenty of us on Etsy who are doing well, and there's really no reason at all why you can't be one of them. Let me know in the comment section below which one stood out to you the most. Are you guilty of any of these? Do you have any follow-up questions for me? And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I am offering that 7-day voice and text support if you are ready to take your shop to the next level. Check the pinned comment below. And then the first link in my description will be the link to my free community. The video on your screen now are 4 unsaturated digital products, with one of them making over $23,000 a month. Go ahead and give that a watch. I'll catch you all over there. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.